information for us, because we can kind of piece those things together, especially under a serious case like this.
No, I don't see anything in there.
So then that's odd. What would make you write that then? Would that be your wife then, or would you, or do you think that was a mistake when you said that?
I don't see it. I swore I talked to her.
Your recollection is that that's why you wrote that, because you talked to your wife. I mean, that's pretty specific Facebook. I mean, that's not something that you would make up, you know, or something that you would misremember. It must be, that must have what happened, according to what you're saying. Does anybody else ever use your phone?
No.
And you always have it with you?
Yeah.
Okay, you can go back to Greg.
I always spoke that to him.
The confusion deepened. He couldn't recall who told him Nikki was on Facebook. Blaming a joke gone wrong, he realized too late that a friend's disappearance was no laughing matter.
Right where we left off, that's what you have to do.
We have a lot of conversations since. He's pretty worked up. Alright.
Okay.
So, you know...
motorcycle, yeah, she's still missing. Family friends, she's not in jail.
And some at 10 after 5, I spoke to somebody. And, I mean, I don't have anything in my call log during that time.
Right.
But that's when...
No text or call log?
I don't
Somewhere between 5:01 and 5:10, I should be between these two. So is it your recollection that it was your wife, or could it have been somebody else?
There's nobody between that time.
Okay, no, I mean your recollection. Who told you about this Facebook?
I thought she said that, you know, it's not true, that, you know, she was on Facebook or whatever. So then they made that real nasty remark, you know, just joking, because these are friends I've been with for 18 years, you know, I was being an asshole.
Yeah.
So then he said, you know, I thought they knew
what
where she
time
was.
was that reply?
10 after 5.
So 2 minutes later.
Yep. And he said no, he was with Doug, because he was joking, you know, about that remark that I made.
So it appears that you're joking, but his reply appears to be
getting
serious.
more and more serious.
So why would Doug need an alibi?
Because I don't know, because I wrote that comment.
Okay, so you meant it as a joke, but clearly he meant it seriously.
Right. I didn't think it was as serious as it is, obviously, today.
Right.
You know, something like this happening.
Because here it says no joke, but obviously you didn't think that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then after that text message, I went to my parents' house, and I was there for about an hour and a half. Then I came over.
Is it okay if I scroll down and read the other ones after that?
Sure.
Okay. What's up? What's going on at the sheriff's office? Being questioned. Any leads to where she might be? No, apparently they like Doug and I for it. Well, there was a body found in the ditch right there on Hoffman Road by Ziggy's at 2 p.m.
This was on the news.
So this is Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And what time is that at Ziggy's? That's at 9:44.
That's right. I think it was the 9 o'clock news.
I see. Okay. Did you erase any of these messages?
No.
All the messages are as is?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. No response.
She was getting interrogated.
Then on so this was Friday night? No, Saturday, I'm sorry. This was Saturday at 9:03.
Saturday night texts showed rising panic. Rumors of a body found near Hoffman Road at 2 p.m. spread fast. Though no one had answers, suspicion was already taking root.
So then Saturday at 11:06, what's going on? We're all worried. This sounds horrible. Stop by if you want. Then Sunday, doing all right.
I picked him up from here at 1:30 that night, or whatever time it was, on Sunday morning, and gave him a ride home. And he was so tore up about it. I thought, you know, that I felt for, you know, almost in fear, you know, that he would do something to himself, or, you know, so I wanted to make sure he was doing all right when I got up the next morning.
Doing all right today, question mark, anything new? He responds, this is Sunday now, no. About to have A-Rod pick me up and bring me to my car. Who's A-Rod?
Aaron Klinsky.
Okay. Sunday, then Sunday 12, get your car, yes, and talk to the cops for 20-30 minutes, gave them a mouth swab. Did they release my info? What do you mean by that? I'm sorry, did they release any info?
Mm-hmm.
Not really, they're still identifying the body, but she had the wristband. Joan's friend is a cop, told her that. But she had the wristband. Joan's friend is a cop, told her that. Who's Joan?
Just a girl that we used to know in high school, Katie Jones.
Katie Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what is this, a cop told her that she had a wristband?
I don't know, everybody had their own philosophy of what happened and how she was found and all that crap, so everybody, I mean, people were saying different stuff all the time.
You want to throw some discs? Nope, cop came and took my car again. What a fucking joke. Wasting all your resources on the wrong people. Do you need a ride to work? No, took a dad's car. You okay? This is now on a Tuesday. No, I'm not. Are you being dragged into this? Get your car back. His response is on Tuesday, this fucking crazy bullshit, of course. I had absolutely nothing to do with this, and I don't believe Doug did either. I walked out on the interrogation at 11 when they kept trying to say I was involved. Total bullshit. No, I did not get my car back. Your response, what a mess, poor Doug. I feel bad for the families. I hope this all gets worked out and quickly. He responds, they're telling me my timeline seems too rehearsed. What the fuck do you think I've been thinking about over the last 72 hours? You replied, do you want to get together in the morning and throw some discs and talk about it, or just get some breakfast? No, I need to talk to a lawyer.
By Sunday, guilt and fear crept in. He was afraid Doug might hurt himself. Yet their texts hinted at something darker, concerns about timelines, lies, and the police circling in.
You guys have all those discs anyways in the car.
Lawyer, what was that?
You guys, the next part of this, he didn't go because you guys have all of his Frisbee discs in his car.
No, I need to talk to a lawyer. They have all my discs anyway. Maybe I'd swing by. What the fuck is going on there? There's no way Doug could have done this. You reply, I feel the same way. The truth would reveal itself somewhere. I don't think he's capable of this. Then he replies, who knows? They might try to arrest me at any time. I hope they get the camera footage to show I did everything I told them I did. Trying to tell me I'm lying. I have been 100% honest. I've tried to help the police in every way I could. I didn't do laundry Sunday so they could have my clothes. It's so unbelievable. They never looked for anyone but him. And because I was with him and was his alibi, they want to destroy me too. Everything happened the way I told them. And you reply, well, they have this neighborhood cordoned off and asking all the neighbors if they saw anything. I hope someone has some insight to what happened. The news release said they found blood in the road. So if there was a struggle, maybe someone witnessed it or heard, and it can be put a time on it. Then Tuesday, later on my way. Then yesterday, which is Wednesday, 2:30, room A for Doug's arraignment. If you want to go, yeah, I will go. They giving you more trouble. Did you end up going?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, not yet. No car though. Downtown courthouse, you asked. You replied, Brown County Courthouse. Can you believe this? At Crystal and Mike's if you're not working. You reply, this is crazy. A positive note. All the so-called evidence is just speculation. I'm at the DMV. I will see where you are when I'm done. He replies, going to Arod's Tuna's duplex, first one. You reply, do we know if Doug is out yet? What do you mean by that?
Because they announced his bail amount.
Oh, okay.
You know, like if he was gonna, make bail, or I'm scared to text him because I don't want to, he needs a space, and I'm sure his parents are gonna, they're probably on the brink of heart failure right now.
Sure.
Because of it.
He replies, no idea. When you ask if you want to do anything, he replies that A-Rod's phone going to die soon. Yes. Want me to get you? Sure. It doesn't look like he's out yet, which is today.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting, that's what you write. How did you find that out?
What's that?
Doesn't look like he's out yet.
Oh, on the website.
Okay, and then you reply, is I'm meeting with one of the detectives soon, and is that just now? Or
Yeah, well, you go on.
okay. Oh boy, want me to be available in case you need to leave again? This is him telling you he's meeting with a detective.
Yeah,
and then
today.
you said, okay, again, no meeting with a DeBrew Park. I called him, I have some questions. You reply, I need some backup. He says, no. Nope, he was the only one I believed when he told me this was about finding Nikki's killer. The rest just said, but I knew it was only about Doug. Then you reply, okay, don't lose your cool. I don't tell them how to do their job and call them incompetent. It's just not going to make anything better for anyone. He replies, no, that is not the point of this conversation. They want to know that they're looking for Nikki's killer, not just looking to convict Doug. You reply, you done?
The other one was the wrong person. I was trying to text my wife for that meal.
That night, he left his parents' house with a heavy sense of unease. No one reported her missing yet, but the silence in the cold air made his heart race. Something felt terribly wrong.
Bills and
Mailed out the bills, heading to get Frontline and Heart Guard now, a lone person, and then he replies, done now, and went okay, told me it couldn't hurt. Posting my idea, probably wants to talk to you about your stupid text though, sorry. That's fine, I would love to explain it, and now we're here, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So we don't know who told you, but you suspect it's your wife that told you. It was the Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're at your parents' hour and a half. That's Saturday. And then where do you go from your parents?
To Doug's.
Okay. And what leads you over to Doug's?
It was just because of all those texts. I had something I had to do before I could go over there and see what was going on, like at my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went over there to see what was going on. I mean, I never got a text saying, we're calling the cops because she's missing, anything like that. So I didn't, and as far as I knew, she was just hanging out somewhere or, still around. Obviously not the latter when we figured out later what happened, but, so I went over there, I took the bike over there, and I don't know, probably got there around 7 o'clock. The other detectives could probably verify my time a little closer. But I went up to the doorbell, and I ring it like I normally do, like a jackass. I probably hit it 10 times, and then Greg came to the door, and another detective was with him. I didn't know it was a detective at first. He was, plain clothes. I thought maybe it was, because I saw Doug's mom and dad in the kitchen with Doug. I thought maybe it was like one of Nikki's brothers or, maybe like the ex-husband or something. I don't know. I didn't know who it was. So then I started talking to Greg about what was going on. We were sitting out there smoking a cigarette, and, then I saw they had a badge on, and I knew things were a lot more serious than, just her, being mad and hiding out.
When did you first find out that there was a body that was located?
It was on the news.
Was that before or after you went over to the house?
After.
Okay. So after the house
I think they
on the
released.
news?
I think they released it on the 9 o'clock news.
Can you believe it was 9 o'clock news?
Yeah, I mean, some kind of news outlet.
Okay, so you went over there, you talked to an officer there, and then where did you go from Doug's house?
Home.
Okay. And you stayed the night there at your house?
Yep. And I had that class again the next morning at 6:45. I didn't stay the whole night because I came and picked Greg up at 1:30 in the morning on Sunday morning. For me.
When he arrived, he rang the doorbell like usual. A stranger answered. A badge flashed beneath a plain coat. Suddenly, this wasn't just a simple fight. It was something far more serious.
Okay, so you went home, and the next time you left your house was Sunday at 1:30 in the morning?
That I can recollect off the top of my head.
And you picked them up where?
We ordered Domino's.
You picked them up?
Here. I picked them up right at the solar panels here.
Okay.
Because you guys had his car. And
Was he at the sheriff's office for some reason, or did he walk here, or?
No, the way he explained it is after I left on Saturday night.
I see. So they brought him
as soon
here
as I
and
left,
they had their car.
he followed a detective over here just like I did with you guys.
Okay.
And, and then they started, going through his car, questioning him.
Okay.
And then as soon as I knew, and,
So when he was done with the detectives here, he reached out to you for a ride?
Right.
And then you came and picked him up?
Right, 'cause he didn't want to call his parents because
Gotcha.
it was 1:30 in the morning.
And where did you take him from there?
From here to his house on Grandview Road. I don't know the address, but.
And then you went home?
Yep.
And then you went to class?
Yep, same time. Probably got there about 6:45, 7 o'clock. And then I was there a little shorter the last day, up to maybe 3 or 3:30 on Sunday.
Okay. Did you have occasion then to speak with Doug at all during Saturday?
No, not at all. When I got to Doug's house, Greg kind of slunk out the door to talk to me with one of the detectives, and I never entered his home or did anything. But by the way, did you guys find a pair of black Harley gloves on the edge of the road? I can't find my gloves since that day.
On the edge of what road?
Berkeley, Doug's road, in front of his house.
Like I said, I didn't have any privy to be there, so I don't know whether they found them or not.
They may have fell out of my helmet or something, but the next day when I woke up for the class, I didn't have my gloves.
That was on Sunday you were missing your gloves?
Yeah, but it was sometime from after the class on
Black
Saturday.
curly gloves?
Yep. They may have fell there, I don't know. I can't find them anywhere. I had them all day Saturday until 7 o'clock for sure, at least. I could have left them at my parents' house too, I don't know. They're somewhere.
By 9 p.m., the news broke. A body had been found. He froze. Every doubt turned into grim confirmation. She wasn't coming back. Someone had made that night her last.
Okay. Did you speak at all with Doug besides the text messages that we looked at on Friday?
No, just the 2 text messages. I didn't want to call or interfere with, their family's mourning, and
Sure.
just kind of throw a feeler text.
Have you spoken then with Doug since you left his house at all?
No.
Okay.
I didn't speak to him at his house.
Okay, so you hadn't seen or spoken with him since you went over?
Friday night, when he texted me if I was going to,
Okay, to the band?
Yep.
Okay.
And after that, all my conversations were with Greg.
With Greg. So
And
let's
then-
talk about with Greg. Greg, you spoke briefly when you went over to the house.
Yep, that was the first time I saw him that day, was at 7
Then
o'clock
you
at night.
picked him up here at the sheriff's office.
Correct.
And then you've had some time with him after that.
Yeah.
You spent some time with him.
Absolutely.
Did Greg disclose anything to you that was of concern, or did he disclose to you what his thoughts or feelings were on this?
No, I mean, obviously, he thinks that there's no way he could have done it.
No way Doug could have done this?
Correct. A lot of it is, he's stressed because he thinks that you guys think he's involved in it, in a way, and he's not, and he's adamant about it, and,
Okay.
and I believe him. I've known these guys all my life.
Sure.
I've never seen anything out of them that would have been like, ooh, this guy's got a dark side or something.
What did Greg have a theory of what may have happened to Nikki?
Possibly getting hit by a car or getting picked up on the way home. There's a lot of things that could have happened. She could have been walking down the trail.
I'm not looking at possible theories. I'm looking at what
He
Greg
didn't have anything specific that he kept coming back to.
Okay.
That it's.
I mean, he did talk specifically about feeling comfortable that Doug had nothing to do with it, and indicating that he didn't have anything to do with it.
Okay.
So that means it's the same line of thinking of Okay, well, if I'm comfortable that Doug didn't have anything to do with it, and I know I didn't have anything to do with it, then the next logical thing is what may have happened. So, I mean, you speculated a couple of things. Is that the things that he told you, or is that something that you're speculating now? That she may have been picked up or hit by a car?
Greg kept insisting Doug was innocent. His eyes didn't lie, but truth rarely hides in what's spoken. It lingers in what's left unsaid, buried beneath fear, guilt, or something even darker.
Do you recall?
I think it was probably just us bouncing stuff off each other.
And these were the type of things you were bouncing
Right,
off?
I mean, that was after they found the body and that you guys were pressing them and...
Sure. And would it be fair to say that it revolved around a stranger being involved? The theories?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, like she just got picked up by the wrong people on the way home, or... nobody knows, I mean, that's...
Sure.
She would never abandon her kids like that. He knew Nikki, logical, grounded, everything lined up, the timing, the route, the silence. Deep down, he already knew it was her body.
So now let me ask you this. What do you think happened?
I don't know. I mean, obviously now I have all these, these speculation type facts that you guys are putting out, in place.
Well, tell me about it.
So, I mean, at the arraignment yesterday, they said that she was strangled and bludgeoned in front of the home, and then transported in a vehicle past the police station a quarter mile and dumped. That's basically where they're at with it. That's what they basically said in court, and that they found some, that Doug was being deceptive because he didn't know where her keys were. I mean, and they ended up being in a pretty obvious place. But I got a key dish at home, but I guarantee my wife's keys hit that dish about once a month.
Why don't we take a simpler look at it? Because I don't want you to get kind of caught up in what was revealed. Obviously, not everything's revealed, and not everything's revealed in detail. And actually, there's certain things that are still not known because they're still doing forensic tests and things like that. So, without getting too detailed about which argument they decided to pursue or didn't decide to pursue yesterday in court, let's look at it this way. Do you suspect that Doug had any involvement in Nikki's death? Do you suspect that Greg had any involvement in Nikki's death? What is your speculation that happened to her?
Well, from what the stories were, how she was on Friday night, and her walking off, and unable to be consoled, and was making a scene and yelling, that she probably tried walking home, and she got picked up by somebody, stranger, and from there, I don't know. I mean, from there, it's just back to the bouncing around.
So you concur with Greg that it's a stranger that's involved?
I would believe that.
Okay.
Yeah, over Doug or Greg.
Do you have any reason to believe that the body that was found is not Nikki's?
No, she would never stay that long away from her, her kids. She's more level-headed than that. I mean, she can...
So you're comfortable that the body that was found, that Nikki's most likely deceased, and that was her body that was found?
Yeah, at that time, I mean, it's just everything lines up, It's on her way home from sardine can, it was a woman, just the whole timing of everything, it's just, it had to be her.
If there was a large amount of blood or any forensic evidence that belonged to Nikki that was located across the street from Doug's house, well, first of all, do you think that would be Nikki's?
No, unless somebody picked her up and she told them where she lived, and brought her home, and then, no, you're not getting out, I changed my mind, I'm not dropping you off, taking you or something.
Okay, but your first knee-jerk reaction is that wouldn't be her blood?
No.
Okay. No. Unless somebody murdered her in front of the house?
Correct. I don't think Doug would have struggled with her.
Right, and somebody would be a stranger?
Correct.
Like I said, this is not evidence or fact. I'm just asking what your feelings were, because
you
have known him for 17 years and I have not.
Right.
If somebody murdered her, I presume you would agree that it would probably be vicious if there's pools of blood in the roadway in front of the house.
When told blood was found near Doug's house, his gut said no. Not unless someone else brought her there. But the idea that she struggled right outside started to crack his certainty.
Well, let's go back to the court hearing. There was information that was brought out of why nobody would have heard this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a residential neighborhood.
I know everybody was right around Doug. I know all those families.
Right. Well, my concern would be then why Doug was home at the time.
Right.
He would be one of those neighbors that wouldn't hear this then either.
Well, but Doug was drinking too. He might have went inside, and as soon as he, sent the babysitter home, he could have just passed out, on the couch.
Okay.
I don't hear too much when I've been drinking and I fall asleep. I pretty much go into hibernation mode and don't wake up until hunger strikes again.
So even if that was her blood that was out in front of his house, you still would not tend to believe that that Doug had any responsibility for this.
No.
Anything else that I might be missing that you think is important for me?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't really have any.
the goal here is to identify anything and everything that may
Right.
have happened surrounding Nikki's.
I wasn't with them. I don't know Nikki well enough to know if she has anybody that doesn't like her. Doug's been with Nikki for maybe close to 2 years, and I probably only hung out with her maybe a dozen times. So I didn't know. I don't know her family. I met her brother once. We all went skeet shooting for the baby shower. The guys went skeet shooting and the girls did their little frou-frou crap. Other than that, I don't really know much about her.
Okay.
I never met any of her friends. She got along with all of us great. And sometimes it's hard for new girls to come in the group because all the old girls are so
Established.
Yeah, and they're judging the new girl in every turn, but they all seemed to like her a lot because she was bubbly and fun to be around.
Can you tell me about